book you wish you never read? What is your I can't even read these.
I was hanging with you and then I realized I didn't think it was true. I was surprised.
What is up, book babes? Welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Keionna, for those of you who don't know, and I'm so glad that you guys found your way here. If you guys support this channel, please check out the description bar down below, as you will find links to petitions and organizations who accept donations to bring forth justice to those who have been robbed of their lives senselessly. So today, as you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing my 500 subscriber Q&A. Shout out to all of you guys though who have been rocking with me, who have been subscribing, who have been liking these videos, commenting, and so on and so forth. It really makes me happy that I have this community here with you guys to be authentic, to express myself, to share my views on certain books, on literature, and to connect with all of you guys. I'm very thankful for this platform, YouTube, that we have. It's so great. I wouldn't have met any of you if I hadn't decided to join the book community or just YouTube in general. Y'all definitely showed out for me in my mentions on Twitter with all of these questions, so I'm definitely going to try to make this video as fun as possible. I brought my margarita with me. There was ice in here a minute ago, but there's tequila in here, so you guys might want to go run and grab you some refreshments before we begin. My first question is from Jocelyn Reads, and that's my girl, so you guys better go subscribe to her channel. I'll leave her channel in the description bar down below. She says, what is a book you wish you never read? What is your favorite and least favorite part about Booktube? What is a book that has changed your life? What is an aspect that you would change about your favorite book? Okay, a lot of questions from Jocelyn. To answer the question, I can't really say that there's any one book that I wish I hadn't read, mostly because any of the books that I don't want to read, I will simply DNF. My favorite part about Booktube is that there are probably hundreds, maybe thousands of other people out there just like me who like to talk about books, are like-minded, and I can connect with other people through literature. That is the best aspect of Booktube to me. My least favorite part about Booktube is all of the drama that I'm just now getting hip to. I'm just now realizing that Booktube is actually a place that can be unsafe for people, and that was the complete opposite reason why I decided to join this community in the first place. Well, actually, I didn't really decide to join any community. I really wanted to create my own community and start this, create this platform for me. But, you know, as I started to branch out and see that there were others who were in the community, I decided to join it, and there's a lot of drama, but if you know me, you know I stay low-key, I stay out of it, and I love it that way. The book that has changed my life, I would say, is The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, and the agreements in this book still resonate with me to this day, so I definitely would recommend this book for everybody, especially if you're just getting into reading or if you're into self-help book. This is definitely a great start. This is just a great book overall, and I have a discussion of this book on my channel, so I will link it in this video. What is an aspect that you would change about your favorite book? And I'm still trying to think, what is my favorite book to this day? For this one, I'm just gonna go with Six of Crows, because I think that Six of Crows is the best series that I've read so far this year, and it's probably one of my favorite that I've read so far this year. Something that I would change about Six of Crows is probably I wouldn't have killed off any characters, probably would have included a lot more diverse or black characters. The next question is from Sarah from Read with Sarah, and she says, congrats on 500. And when did you first discover your love of reading? So I first discovered my love of reading in 2015 when I read The Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukov, which I always talk about on my channel, and I decided that I wanted to continue reading because I wanted to become more intelligent, if you will. I wanted to expand my vocabulary. I wanted to become more spiritually inclined. I wanted to learn so much about life and myself and other people and their stories. So 2015 was definitely when I had cultivated my love for reading. The first book that I remember loving, I think I loved Gossip Girl when I was younger. The next question is, what's your favorite book so far this year? Tropes you hate. My favorite book that I've read so far this year is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, because I really love the memoir aspect. I love the fact that we got to see Evelyn Hugo as a young girl up until she was a senior citizen, and it was just a lot of adventure, a lot of scandal, a lot of love and sex and lust, and you know, the plot was good, the characters were good, the pacing was good, the writing style was good, everything was really, really good about this book. So I really like this book. My next question is tropes that you hate, and I'm not exactly sure if this is a trope, but I really dislike those books where the black person dies. The last question is favorite booktuber. My favorite booktuber, who do I love? I love you all so freaking much. I can't choose between who's my favorite. Like, I freaking love you guys' videos. I love your content. I love how creative you are. I love the things that you say and how you talk about books. I love your intros, your outros. I love your music. I love everything about this, you know. I just love you guys. Like, I can't choose. Are there any authors you never will read? And that's probably going to go to J.K. Rowling. There's a lot of controversy right now around J.K. Rowling. I've never read any Harry Potter books before, and I probably never will because of what's happening. So the next question is popular books you don't like. So I don't really like to talk about books that I don't like, but one book that I did not really particularly love is When the Moon Was Ours by Anne-Marie McLemore. I love Anna Marie McLemore first and foremost, and I really do like her books. It was just this one in particular that I wasn't too, it just wasn't really like doing what I wanted it to do. I mean, I didn't really expect anything going into this book. It wasn't enthralling. So the next few questions are from Alexandra Alley with Books, and she says, do you like book series or standalones? I actually just got into book series. I really like book series because I like the fact that it makes me motivated to keep reading books. It keeps me motivated to read the next books in the series. But I also really like standalones because it's just like a one and done type thing, and you don't have to keep on, you know, like stressing out about like the next book, when's the next book coming out, or like if you read it, you know, at a certain time. So there's that. Do you have a spot in your house where you like to read? In my room is like my safe haven. I really like to read books in my room because I just have like a really cool ambiance. I really like to read even in my living room. My living room's pretty chill, and yeah. Do you judge books by their covers? No, I do not judge books by their covers at all. I check out reviews first before purchasing. I will check out the synopsis before I read it. I'm really picky about the books that I like to pick up. I don't like to just pick up any book. So the book definitely has to be like, feel like it's interesting to me first before I just pick it up. So the next question is from Amber from Cozy Nature Reads, and she says, do you have a reading routine? I wouldn't necessarily call it a reading routine, but I try to read every single day if I can, but there's no specific time for me where I like to read. She also says bookmarks or dog ear pages, and I'm definitely a bookmark type of girl. I do like to place footnotes on pages that have really great stuff there. So her last question is, if you could rewrite a book you read, what would that be? You Are the Universe by Deepak Chopra. This is a book that was a lot about science, a lot about cosmology, a lot about the universe, and I thought that it was about like self-help. I thought it was about like, you know, helping others discover who they really are and like their purpose here and everything like that. So a lot of the content in here is very different from what I had expected, and I probably would rewrite this entire book and slap that title right on it. One of the random questions I got is, what's your favorite dinosaur? I loved learning about dinosaurs in elementary school and just in general. One of my favorite dinosaurs ever, I think that resonated with me the most, is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. But the thing about T-Rexes is that they have really tiny arms, and I don't really like that. Well, they had really tiny arms, and I don't really like that aspect of them. But I think the T-Rex is probably my favorite one. I'm gonna go with that one because they were like the most ferocious, the most feared, dangerous dinosaurs of all of them. That's the first book that always comes to mind when someone asks for a recommendation. I typically like to go with The Four Agreements. I like to go with The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I like to go with You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, or Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra, Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukov, and probably The Five Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz and The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. Those are all of the books that I probably would think of to recommend to someone, because most people who are looking for books or recommendations, they typically are looking for self-help books. This is a really good one. What's your favorite genre to read? My favorite genre to read is self-help. I also really love YA, and I also really love fiction and fantasy and romance and contemporary. My favorite author, I would probably say, is Paulo Coelho. He's the author who wrote The Alchemist, and I really like that book, and I really like his style of writing. Oh, I also really like Nicola Yoon. I love both her books, The Sun Is Also a Star and Everything Everything. I like Angie Thomas. I like Ivy Zaboy. I would say I like Taylor Jenkins Reid because I also like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So those are my favorite authors so far to this day. I like Holly Black. I really like Holly Black fairy tale renditions. The next question is from my girl Mayo Reads, and she says, are you excited for the new book in the Folk of the Air series, How the King of Elfham Learned to Hate Stories? And yes, girl, I am. You know, this is going to be juicy. Well, I hope it's juicy. I love the Folk of the Air series, so I'm hoping that this next book that we're gonna get is going to be amazing. It was such a surprise to everyone. I was just like jaw drop, because I was so surprised that we got it, and I'm actually really stoked. I really thought that The Queen of Nothing was going to be the last book, so Holly Black definitely played us, and I am very excited for the next book. This next question is, who are your favorite Black authors slash poets? One of my favorite Black authors slash poets, I'm gonna say, is Raina Biddy. I'm currently reading Raina Biddy. She's really good. I love her first book, I Love My Love, and I think I'm going to pick up her other two books, or I think she has like 3 other ones. But yeah, Raina Biddy. I also like R.S.A. Daily Ward. I really like Ijomba Mbunye. She wrote Questions for Ada that I talked about in my poetry collection. All of these poetry authors I've talked about in my poetry book collection that I just filmed. My favorite Black authors would be Angie Thomas, Ivy Zaboy, I guess we could say Oprah Winfrey. The next question is, what is the next series you're excited to get into? And this is from my girl Kim Ann Reads. And the next series that I'm really excited to get into is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I am very excited to get into that book, the series in general, so I hope that I really like it. The last question is from my girl Erin over at Books and Busy, and she says, if you could remove any character from a book or series, who would it be? And I'm gonna go with Oriana from the Folk of the Air series. I just feel like her character is very stale. Like, she's the mom of Oak and the wife of Maddox, but she just doesn't really serve much of a purpose to me. Like, I feel like the book would be just as good without her. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you guys so much for all of the questions that you have asked. Without you guys, this video would not have been possible. And make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Once again, make sure you guys like, comment, follow, subscribe, everything. Follow me on Instagram at Princess Keionna and Twitter at Princess Keionna, and then I'll also leave a link to my Poshmark in the description bar down below, as well as my Goodreads page for you guys to check all of that out. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.